The Republican National Convention in Uptown Charlotte now that less than 100 days away, but is its future now in question? President Trump demanding that Governor Roy Cooper guarantee the convention will be open to all visitors or else risk losing this major event completely. The president making those statements this morning on Twitter.
And Channel 9's Elsa Gillis has spent all day reaching out to leaders and joins us now live from the Spectrum Center. Elsa.
Yeah, Damani, Erica, this is one of the sites behind me, one of the areas of town we all thought would be filled to the brim with people come August for the RNC. But now between COVID-19 and the president's latest comments, that probability is more unclear than ever. This Memorial Day morning, North Carolinians awoke to this series of tweets from the president, threatening to pull the RNC from Charlotte if allowing full attendance isn't guaranteed by the governor. If not, we will be reluctantly forced to find, with all of the jobs and economic development it brings, another Republican National Convention site. The convention is expected to bring tens of thousands of visitors to the Charlotte area and millions of dollars in economic impact. Today, a spokesperson for Governor Roy Cooper put out a statement saying officials are working with the RNC and North Carolina is relying on data and science to protect our state's public health and safety.
This may be an attempt by the president to either force the governor's hand, or it could be an attempt to start folks thinking about a virtual renomination convention. I don't think anybody, including public health officials, know what will happen in 3 months. So we are literally flying blind into this.
Political analyst Dr. Michael Bitzer says the simple logistics of moving a convention of this size to another city is unheard of, and we've not seen that happen before.
And remember, in 2012, the RNC was dealing with a hurricane, and they still had their convention in Florida. So I think the likelihood of a move is highly suspect at this point, but we just don't know what the president will be thinking and what the reaction by the COVID, the novel virus, will be as well in 3 months.
The city of Charlotte, Mecklenburg County, and Emergency Management put out a joint statement today saying that they will continue to plan for the RNC while respecting national and state guidance regarding the pandemic, and that they anticipate providing guidance for large events, including the RNC in June. Now, Erica, it is important to note that the president is not a party in the RNC contract. It's only between Charlotte and the RNC host committee. And I plan to have more comment and reaction from city leaders at 6. Back to you.
Elsa, thank you. The Reopen NC movement gathered in South Park today for a Memorial Day rally. Organizers say their goal was to honor those who fought and died for our freedom, but also they say it was about fighting for freedom now, calling on the state to reopen more businesses. They say that 50% capacity is not 100% freedom, and that other businesses like gyms and bars should be able to open. They say it's about the ability to make their own choices.
We need to find a way to reopen the economy and keep the people who are at risk of this virus safe.
Under phase 2, restaurants, salons, barbershops, and pools can reopen at about 50% capacity. Gyms, bars, playgrounds, and some other businesses remain closed. There were reopen rallies all over the state of North Carolina today. A large group attended this rally in downtown Raleigh. There were rallies also in Greensboro, Asheville, and Wilmington.
Health officials are still keeping a close eye on the data as North Carolina slowly reopens. Today, the state announced more than 700 new cases of the virus. About 8% of all tests were positive. The state saw a new high in hospitalizations with 627. But this afternoon, we learned nearly 15,000 people in North Carolina are presumed to have recovered from COVID-19. Well, some positive news in South Carolina. Listen to this here. The state only reported 82 new cases today. That's the lowest daily increase in more than a month. Sadly, 5 more patients have died, including 1 person in Chesterfield County. Memorial Day is a day to remember the sacrifice of our fallen military heroes, but some veterans are in another battle during the pandemic, especially those in the several local nursing homes in the midst of outbreaks. And Channel 9's Tina Terry has the story of one veteran who died fighting COVID-19. And Tina, a friend actually told you no one was able to attend his funeral.
Yeah, the friend said that was really to protect people from COVID-19. Let's go to some video. This is video of Tracy Brown before he passed away a few weeks ago. Brown served in the U.S. Air Force just after the Korean War. Today, a friend told us that Brown had COVID-19 when he died, and because of the virus, he wasn't able to attend his friend's burial at the Veterans Cemetery in Salisbury. He says today he's remembering Brown and all other veterans now impacted by COVID-19.
Everybody that knew him really thought the world of him. He's just a great guy.
And tonight at 6, we're going to have much more on Brown's life. We'll also tell you about other local veterans impacted by this virus. So don't miss that story. Back to you guys at the desk.
Okay, Tina, thank you very much. The virus has been a major risk for our aging veterans, many of whom have underlying health conditions. One of the first outbreaks we actually covered here at Channel 9 was that at the Salisbury Veterans Home, which is on the VA property. There have been more than 100 cases there among veterans and staff at the VA, including 15 lives lost. Thankfully, though, they say that 69 people there have been able to recover after battling the virus. 1,000 families have meals for Memorial Day thanks to one business in Charlotte. Starmount Healthcare Management gave out food this morning in West Charlotte. They had a line of cars waiting for the bags of food. The business usually has a free community cookout every Memorial Day. And of course, that is just not safe right now, but Starmount still wanted to give back.
It feels great to be able to give back to this community that authentically drives up and just says thank you so much for doing this. You may not understand, but we were trying to figure out how to get a meal for the family together today.
The organizers told us that people started lining up for food 2.5 hours early.
Well, you may have wanted to spend your long weekend at your neighborhood pool, but this is one of the only few that is actually open. Now, most remained closed as they figure out how to reopen the pool with safe social distancing guidelines. And our GINA Esposito got a look at how one HOA in Concord is keeping families safe by the water.
There are still many pools in our area that have not reopened, but this one did. We're at Oak Park. This is a neighborhood up in Concord. They reopened on Saturday. The HOA made a lot of changes so that families can feel safe. Whether you want to splash around or take a swim, it's a rare sight this Memorial Day.
You can see he's enjoying that. He's been waiting on this morning. That's why we got up here early.
Donna Kenny's neighborhood pool is one of only a few that reopened in our area. On Friday, I learned many pools were still making changes and needed lifeguards.
I think we really, at the end of the day, felt like, hey, we can kind of lead here.
Oak Park HOA President Dennis Parker says they worked tirelessly to make safety changes so families at Oak Park could enjoy the pool. They hung a capacity sign at the pool entrance with rules on how many people can be at and in the pool.
I think the most I ever counted was 12 in the pool, and I did see the lifeguards checking that. I saw them going 1, 2, 3, so I was glad to see that. That means that they're aware of the count as well.
To keep things clean, the HOA added sanitation stations and asked residents to wipe off pool chairs before and after use. They also laminated these signs to help people social distance.
And so the idea is that if a single person came in and they wanted some distance, that they could just put this down and give themselves some distance. And if a family came in, they could pick it up and move it over, and then they could sit together.
All of these changes so families like Kenny's could kick off summer.
Very, very fortunate.
In Concord, I'm Gina Esposito.
And Channel 9 looked into whether you can get coronavirus from swimming in a pool. The CDC says no, saying there's no evidence that COVID-19 can spread through the water in pools, hot tubs, or water play areas. You could still be exposed by coming into close contact with someone at the pool.
If you're preparing to grill out this evening, you've likely noticed how expensive it costs for the burgers and hot dogs. Well, that's because outbreaks across the country have forced processing plants to close their doors. The CDC says nearly 5,000 meat packing workers across 19 states have been infected. That includes the Tyson chicken plant in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Last week also there was an outbreak at a Dole vegetable plant in Ohio. And with more outbreaks and plant closures, supplies are down and prices are going up. The price of beef up 11.9% compared to last year. Chicken increases more than 7%. We're also paying 4.5% more for carbonated beverages like soda and nearly 4% more for snack foods.
What we are seeing, obviously, the higher prices, shortages in certain commodities, and this will continue. This impact will actually outlast the virus itself.
Now, as we mentioned, there is that outbreak at the Tyson plant in Wilkesboro. Nearly 600 workers there have tested positive. The company is saying that about 25% of its workforce in Wilkes County has tested positive for the virus. And the state says there's an outbreak at a plant in Burke County as well. The only plant in that area is Case Farms Chicken.